Understanding, awareness, and thought. When I came across Bob Adamson's book and CDs of his talks, inner changes started to happen. I didn't consciously do anything, but the grip of the conceptual thoughts began to loosen. Things began shifting and falling away. I could not even articulate what was happening, but there was an experience of freedom. I sensed it was right. When you come across a good, clear teaching, it is the wisdom and the clarity of the teaching that is liberating, not necessarily anything you do to make understanding happen. Ultimately, it is your own innate wisdom that is functioning in response to the clear pointers of the teacher. The you trying to understand, who seemingly gets it and loses it, who struggle and so on, is not who you actually are. It is just a play of thoughts, of concepts, of unexamined assumptions about yourself and the world. You innocently pick them up in the course of living. It is these thoughts that create the perplexity and confusion. Notice that when you are asleep or absorbed in some interesting activity, your problems disappear. It is a key point to see that all problems are just created in thought and nowhere else. This is fundamental. All problems, doubts, and confusion are generated in thought. Not being clear on our true nature, we believe the concepts and stories in the mind and they take us for a ride. Your living awareness, who you really are, is utterly present and not affected in the least by thoughts. You are aware of the mind, just like the sun shines on the clouds. You are utterly free of thoughts. Whatever thought says about you is untrue. You are prior to the mind. There is knowing, hearing, seeing, and sensing going on all the time spontaneously. This primary awareness is present. It is prior to any conceptual activity. There is a fundamental difference between awareness or the direct experience of knowing and conceptual thought, which is just words and labels. We take the words and labels to be real. Can you drink the word water? Is the thought I see the same as actual seeing? Do the I says I see? Or is there simply seeing and later the thought comes up I see? It is the same for all the other senses. Try to see the difference between awareness or non conceptual knowing or direct knowing and the labeling activity of the mind. Of course, thought is also directly known in awareness. Thought is happening in awareness directly, spontaneously. Later, the thought comes up I am thinking. That I is spurious. It is not really present except as a concept. You shine as the living light of pure awareness at all time, never touched by thought or its definitions. Out of ignorance, we tend to focus on the thought and labels, the stories and the person imagined in thought. The subtle shift brings you back to the simple recognition of the fact of your true nature as presence awareness. The mind can never grasp it. Your true nature because it contains thinking. However, you can know your real nature for certain at any moment because you know you are aware. You know you exist. even without taking thought about it. Normally, this is overlooked because it is so simple. The mind is apt to minimize this pointing, but it is utterly profound. If you have the good luck to meet someone living in this direct understanding, he or she will point you back to this relentlessly until it is as plain as the nose on your face. It is useless to struggle to get this. Just let the pointing draw you in. Feel the resonance, it will get you.